Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Thanks for joining me for yet another video, or if this is your first one, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Today I'm making another really simple but very tasty rice dish. So a few videos back I did like a kind of rice slash timin series. Timin is rice in Arabic for us Arabis. Yeah, so this is kind of similar to those, following on from them I guess. But it's very simple. The main ingredient is obviously carrots. Very tasty and delicious, and also this is a really important addition. I've spoken about this before, but if you're not familiar with it, it's called nomi basra. Had to think about it there because I always call it nomi hamad, but nomi hamad is fresh limes, and then nomi basra is these dried limes here. Yeah, so nomi basra, if you're not familiar, like I said, is dried limes, and you can find them at pretty much all like Arab and Asian grocery shops, just if you're not familiar with them. Yeah, so it's super simple. Like I said, I'm literally just going to be using onions, of course rice, carrots, and nomi basra, and then salt and oil, but they don't really count, you know. Yeah, and I'm just going to chop these up into little cubes. Instead of telling you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and start. So let me go ahead and start and chop these into little cubes. So if you want to come a bit closer, don't be shy. Right, so I'm just gonna, so I've got 4 quite large carrots here. So I'd say about 6 kind of small to medium carrots would be perfect as well. Obviously just whatever you can find. Right. Again, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know at this point that I'm not really a perfectionist, so they don't need to be all perfect and uniform in size. But I mean, if that's important to you, obviously go ahead and try and make them all perfect. But just as long as they're roughly kind of these kind of sizes, then that should be pretty perfect. Just some neighbours walking past, that's fine. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish chopping all these, and I'll be back when I'm chopping the onions. See you in a bit. Okay, so that's my carrots all chopped up nice and small, and I've just peeled and given my onions a rinse, and I'm just going to chop them up pretty much the same size as the carrots. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect, but just, you know, into these little pieces. Guys, I don't know what's up with my chopping skills these days. They are not up to par, but just forgive me. Okay, so that's the carrots and onions chopped. I'm just going to, so I've got a clean tea towel here, and I've got about 4 or 5 nomi basras. Just get them out the wee jar. I'd say like 4 kind of medium-sized ones are good. These are kind of different sizes, so that's why I went for 5. Come a bit closer, just so you can see them. That's them here. And I'm just going to close this over. And I've got this little, like, you know, kitchen hammer thing here, and I'm just gonna bash them. As you could probably tell, I'm just gonna close it over so it doesn't like get everywhere. Right, just go for it.
Get your anger.
Get your anger out, exactly. Let's just see where we're at. Right, beautiful. Right, at this point, I'm gonna bash them a little bit more, but you want to look for the record, by the way, you can actually get these like the powdered nomi basra, like ground. But it's nice to use the fresh one. The flavour is a little bit more intense. But if you can't be bothered doing this, that's an option as well. But you want to take out the little kind of seeds that are inside them. Where are they? So this is an example of one. Oh, there's lots of them. Right, so see these wee seeds, you want to look for them and take them out. So I'm just gonna discard them because they can be obviously quite bitter, so just do your best trying to find them and taking them out. And yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so this is how kind of fine you're wanting to go for. And I consulted with the expert, aka my mum, and she was saying this is too much, so I'm going to use just around half of this, so about 3 small ones / 2 big nomi basras should be perfect. But this is good. I'm just going to keep this aside for other things. So yeah, I'm just going to start with sauteing the onion and carrots. So I'm just going to turn my cooker on high heat, and I've got some, you can use whatever oil you like. We've got this rapeseed oil that I've been trying to use up for ages, so I'm just going to use some of that. And while that's heating up, actually, I'm just going to give my rice a wee rinse. For this much, I'm going to use, it's going to be quite carrot heavy, so I'm going to use about 1.5 cups or so of rice. So I'm just going to give that a quick rinse and I will be back. Okay, so I've just had this heating up. I'm just going to add about maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil to the pan, or to the pot, whatever, and I'm just going to swivel that about a wee bit. I think I'm actually just gonna, actually no I'm not, I was gonna reduce the heat, but I'm not gonna do that, it's not necessary. So I'm just gonna add in the chopped onion first. Okay, so I've just had the onions sauteing on their own for about 4 to 5 minutes or so, and I'm just gonna add the carrots in at this point. And then I'm just going to saute this together until they kind of, probably for between maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, just for them to kind of like soften and cook. And then I'll add in that nomi basra. Basically with the nomi basra, you don't want to add it in too early, because if it cooks for too long, it can get a little bit bitter. Well, I'm going to be cooking it with the rice anyway, but I don't want to fry it for too long so it doesn't get bitter. So yeah, I'm just going to fry these for a bit on their own, and then add in the basra, add in some salt, add the rice, and I've just soaked my rice about 4 or 5 times. I've just got it soaking for like a few minutes until I add it in. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I've just had the carrots cooking with the onions for about 10 minutes or so, and I'm just going to add the nomi basra at this point. So I guess it's about 1 tablespoon and a half of I'm just taking it straight from the tea towel, of nomi basra. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but you could like grind it more than this so it's like finer, but my mum likes it this kind of texture, so just kind of depending on your preference. And I'm actually sorry about that. I'm just going to add some salt at this point as well, and just give that a wee mix. You can like smell the citrusy smell like straight away. And I'm literally just going to add in the rice at this point as well and just kind of toast it with everything. So like I said, rinse this a few times. Don't know why I repeat myself so much, but there you go, just for clarity. So I'm just going to add this in. Give that a wee mix. Okay, so I just had those toasting all together for like a minute, and I'm just going to add in the water. I'm just using cold water. So this has just come to a boil. It's just been boiling for like a couple of minutes now, so I'm just going to reduce that to a simmer and then loosely cover it. I mean, I've said these words so many times, so you probably know the drill by now, but just in case. Yeah, so I'm just covering it, just leaving it just a tiny bit open, just so that some of the steam can come out. And I'm going to leave this for probably around 15 to 20 minutes until all the water is absorbed, and then I'll give it a wee mix. Okay, so this is just a little optional step, but while that rice is cooking, I'm just gonna, sorry, bear with me people. I've just finely sliced up 1 onion, and I'm just gonna like fry that, like saute that in some oil and add a little bit more of that nomi basra, so that I can top the rice with it at the end, just so there's a little kind of lovely citrusy onion. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get them a little crispy. I'm so sorry, I don't know why I can't speak today. It's just one of those days. So anyway, I'm just gonna add the oil to this little pan. It's just been heating up. It's pretty hot now. So like, oh, just burn my wee finger, that's fine. And then I'm just gonna add in these finely sliced onions. Okay, Okay, and then you just want to fry these until they're browned and slightly crispy, and then I'm going to add just about maybe half a tablespoon or so of nome basra, and then I'll just set that aside and then top it on top of the rice at the end. Okay, so it's actually been about 20-25 minutes rather than 15 to 20 minutes, and the rice is nice and cooked. I gave it a tiny wee taste and it's a tiny bit under seasoned, so I'm just going to add a little bit more salt. As I always say, just taste. That's quite a lot. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. But this is a lot of rice. Yeah, as I always say, just, you know, season things to your liking, taste as you go. That's the beauty of cooking, you make things how you like. So I'm just going to give this a wee mix. So I'm just going to leave it for just another wee 5 minutes, and then I'm going to plate it up and top it with the onion. I ended up frying the onion. This took about like 7 minutes or so for it to get nice and browned and crispy like this, and then I just added about half a tablespoon of that nome basra just to the end. I'm gonna top it. I'm salivating because I just got really hungry, so yeah, I'll show you everything once it's all plated, and that'll be us. Okay, so that's the timin jezar, aka carrot rice, I guess, all cooked and ready, and I'm very excited to eat it. Like I said, I just topped it with that little onion, fried onion at the end, and I would really recommend, I totally forgot to get some and I'm really annoyed at myself because it would have been perfect with this, but if you have almonds, that would be really nice. If you just toast the almonds and then add them on top with the onion, that would be super tasty. Just gives the rice a lovely crunch. And I'm just serving this with some coconut yogurt. I've talked about this a few times, the coconut collaborative coconut yogurt is my favourite one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and take care. Bye. Just over half of the tip of your finger. Sorry, the face that I just got from Hanin was, what the hell are you doing? But that's how I measure the rice. You just get used to your own way of cooking rice. Everyone has their own way.
Of course.
That's my way. Try it out, maybe it'll work.